It upsets me. It annoys me. It does not make me happy. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Boemimo and I'm also known as Momo5 and I'm also known as TMO5 Kanoko. If you're new to my channel, welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for always coming back. So today, I was just going to come here and say well done to Nelo Okeke for shaking that table. I mean, she has really not actually shaken the table. She has actually come here to balance the table. Yeah, for me, she's balanced the table for me. If you wonder what I'm talking about, it's about this our latest video. So in that video, she kind of like went on to talk about how she grew up in a household whereby her dad was the main provider in the family. Like, her dad would provide for everything, while her mom has never been asked to chip in something into the household bill. And such, obviously, growing up in such home, she believed that's how it's meant to be. So she struggles with the fact that her own husband is asking her to pay for things that he should be doing. And I just want to say, this conversation is something we should be having in modern days, in today's day, or in today's age. It is something we should be talking about. And I just want to put it out there that it's not a matter of coming out here to hear your dirty laundry or your dirty linen. No. So if you feel maybe, oh, she's come to hear her dirty linen, then you're not of a matured mind. And me coming out here to say that, yes, well done to her, I'm not here because I want to hear my dirty linen out. No. So just like Nelo Okeke as well, I grew up in a home whereby my dad worked all his life, and I grew up seeing him pick up the bills for the household, for the family. My mom was working at some point, but she didn't tend to work for long before she decided to become, I don't know if she decided to become a stay-at-home mom, but she became a stay-at-home mom. And even though for the fact that she became a stay-at-home mom, she was working. She's a caterer, so she would travel for catering food businesses. One of our friends like that, they would get big contracts to go cook for governors' parties and stuff like that. So in a way, she's doing her own bits. But what I'm coming in is that growing up in an home whereby you see your own father be the main provider, it will pay the rent, it will pay the bills, it will give your mom money for food, it will practically provide money for everything. And then you now go into your own relationship or in your own marriage, and you expect that, I mean, that's what I expect that to be the same thing. I expect that my husband will pick up my tabs, he's going to pick up the tabs of our children, he's going to pick up everything that we need in the house. So whatever I, as a mom, as a wife, hence, it's just going to be by the side to support him, not to act as if I'm there to cater for his needs. No. So like I was saying, like Nelo Okeke said in one of the videos, she was like, at some point, like when she started her business, you know, her husband set her up, like her husband provided everything, which he should be the one to do. Yes. So, and I think at some point she said she was doing her job, and then she made a lot of money from their job, and then her husband was like, oh, since you said you needed air condition for your shop, use that Ajo money to buy the air conditioner. And Nelo was like, no, it's not gonna happen. That at that point she felt as if maybe there was no love anymore. She felt as if maybe her husband no longer loves her, and she felt a bit. And I clearly understand that because I felt that way before. Yes, I felt that way before. There was a time we were going to buy a car, and I said to my husband that, oh, that this is the kind of car I wanted. And it was like, okay, so we got the car. Obviously, you know, abroad you can buy a car on finance and stuff like that. You buy and you pay monthly for over maybe 4 years. So we got the car with the hope that at least my husband will be supporting me in paying the car. But Oga fell my hand, and at that instant I started feeling, okay, I've had all of these kids for you, and then you rather prefer me be pushing kids in the sun, in the rain, all 5 of them, while you're not going to be there to be pulling all 5 of them with me. I felt that for the fact that I needed a car, you should be the one to buy that car for me. You should be the one to pick up the bills for that car every month. You should be the one to fuel the car. You should be the one to pay all of the insurances on the car. You should be the one to pay all of the tax, because as a man, if you're not ready for something, you don't go into it. And I felt as a man, before you actually start something, you will have sat down and think, okay, this is kind of the life I want for myself. Okay, if I want a wife, if I'm gonna, once I get married and I'm gonna have children, I know it's my responsibility to provide for my wife. It's my responsibility to provide for my children, to provide their needs. So I need to start putting this in place. I need to start putting this in place. I mean, as a man, I'm not practically saying this to my husband, but I'm just saying in general that as a man, that you'll have thought of putting those things in place before you eventually decide to grab a woman, impregnate her, and have kids. And then you're now thinking, oh no, okay, I'm going to do that along the way. No, you provided for your needs should be like a mentality you should have had before you go into a relationship or before you start having a family. So, I mean, as a wife as well, there are responsibilities as a wife that you would carry. So let's say for instance I'm a stay-at-home mom and I'm not working, and my husband is working. It should be the one picking all of the tabs. So let's now say that okay, I'm not a stay-at-home mom, I am also working full-time. We are both bringing in money. My own money, I know people will have an issue with my own money. Yes, my own money, because I have a husband. He should be the one to pick up my tabs. I am his responsibility. His children are his responsibility. So he should provide for our needs. So if I'm having to pay, like if I'm having to use my own money to get things that I feel or I believe that my husband should provide for me, I have an issue with that. It always makes me feel kind of like, no, I shouldn't be using my own money for this. He's my husband, I am his responsibility, and he should provide for my needs. And there have been several instances like that, and I felt, no, what's happening? Like, no, you should give me money to go buy food. You should give me money for that. You should give me money for this. You should give me money for that. Don't tell me to use my money. Yes, it's my money. And as a woman, I've always envisaged, I've always wanted that I'm going to be financially independent. Like, I'm going to have my own money. And I'm going to have my own savings. And at the end of the day, obviously I've got kids. This money is not just for me. Because we women, we think farther, we see farther than men. Men are just saying now, men are just thinking of now. But we women, we are thinking of now. We are thinking of in the next 5 minutes, and we're thinking of in the next 10 years. However, men are not thinking that way. So in my own head, that's how I see things anyway. So I'm saying things now, and I'm planning towards what's going to happen in the next 5 minutes, and I'll be planning towards what's going to happen in the next 10 years, which I believe that if I ask my husband and that come in the next so it will just be like, I mean, at some point we're like, oh, you are the manager, and I'm like, no, I am not the manager. I am not the manager. You are the manager, you are whatever you want to call it, but don't give me a post. All I know is that whatever I need for this household to go, or for this household to stand, as a man, as my husband, you have to provide for my responsibility, you have to provide for my children's needs, and I should not be using my money for that. You know, over the years, things like that have happened, and I've always questioned that should I be, paying for these things myself? Don't get me wrong, guys. There are situations whereby maybe peradventure the man's means of income is slightly or temporarily not available. So as a wife, you can step in temporarily. You heard me. Temporarily, not for the long run. Because I've seen situations whereby a woman steps in temporarily to help the husband, and the man will just sit down, be looking, and say, my wife is working out, so she's covering everything. That disgusts me. It disgusts me. I've seen it in some situations, and I kind of like experience it briefly myself. That disgusts me. It makes me angry. It makes me annoyed that, okay, I've temporarily stepped in. What are you doing to pick up from where you are temporarily not providing income? You know? So in a way, I just feel like women are we are meant to be pampered, but in some ways men are just like, if I like in Nelo Okeke's, like our husband was like, oh, at times our husband was like, oh, you pay for DVD, or you pay for DSTV, even though they both watch the DSTV, but it is your husband's responsibility. Excuse me, yes it is. As a man, you provide for the needs of your family, the needs of your household. And if a woman is going to provide, she should only add to balance what the main household provider is bringing. So let's say, for instance, all of the expenditure in an household is £1,000. And as a man or as a family of the house, the husband has already provided 800 of it. And 200 is like, he's struggling to come up with 200. Yeah, as a woman, I can happily come in and pop that 200 on top and make it whole. But you now come with 200 and you're expecting me as a woman to bring 800. Like, where is that done? And I found myself done that a few times, and I don't like how it leaves me, because I'm like, nah, I watched my dad provide all of our needs, and I've never seen my mom chip in more than she could afford. Like, my dad had to be the one to provide majority of the things while my mom just supports, you know, in the way she could, not expecting her to take over entirely. So at some point when I said I felt a way about me using my money for something that I felt my husband should provide for me, I actually thought maybe it was some sort of like psychology or emotional thinking I'm going through. But with Nelo saying she also felt that way, I don't think it's psychological or emotional. It's just the way we've been brought up. It's just the way we've seen things and it's worked. So exactly, for the fact that those things have worked between my own parents, those things have worked with Nelo's parents, I want such in my household because it worked. And I believe that if it continues in my household as well, it's going to work. So, like I said, it's not a matter of putting your dirty linen out there. No, this is a conversation we should be having, because I've seen women, most especially abroad, women are taking over the responsibilities of men, and I just hate to think that I will find myself in such a situation because I wouldn't do it. And at some point I find it, like I said, that I've had the experience of a few times where I've had to step in for my husband when he was not able to, and I only want to and I don't mind doing it temporarily, but on the long, if I have to do it on the long run, it leaves me bitter. It makes me question his feelings for me. It makes me question if he was actually ready for the family he's created. And yes, I was thinking maybe it's an emotional thing or it's a psychological. It's not as emotional or psychological thing, because I believe he should be the one providing all of these needs. And as a woman, regardless of how much that woman is making, even if the woman is making more than you, I believe you should always put your best foot forward. And you know, this conversation, I remember when I was having this conversation with my husband, like, you know what, you providing all of our needs are even if you see my account balance and you see that I have that money, I'll only put it when I see that you've provided your own part of what you're supposed to. In fact, you've done your part of what you're supposed to do. And then maybe there's only a little bit left, then I will step in. But when I was having this conversation with him, he was not quite happy. No, you know me, I'm saying this in a nice way now. But when I was having this conversation with Oga at the top, I was not using it I was not using a sweet or calm voice. I was using it like strong face, because I was like, nah, it is your responsibility. Now you marry wife, now you born pikin, now you supposed to provide their needs. Don't be asking me to come and say, do this, do that. No, I frown at it. It doesn't make me happy at all, because like I said, it makes me question the desire he has for his family, the desires he has for me, the desires he has for my children. Like, okay, is there somewhere else he wants to be spending his money? Because especially when you see that man is capable of providing for that thing you've asked, and then they are holding back mainly because they know that yes, you have money now. There's nothing, I mean, if a woman is financially stable, financially independent, the man should be happy to have such a woman. Not be happy because yes, you can just mess up and decide to sit down and then you're expecting the woman to do so. Like, nah. I was saying to myself, I'm like, nah, it's not gonna happen. You get your shit right and stand up to it. Like, I'm not gonna be doing that, because I felt it is not my role to do so. And for the fact that I'm doing it, it does not make me happy. It upsets me, and I started to have so many thoughts in my head, like, is this a mistake? You know, so I quite appreciate Nelo for coming up with this talk. And when she was having this chat, I mean, when I was watching that video, I could just relate to every bit of what she said. Don't get me wrong, I still go, like, I do all the shopping, I do my bit as an household as well, because I felt that if I don't do it, my husband is not going to go to the supermarket and shop for food. He's not going to go to the shop and shop for clothes for the kids. But if I feel things have to be done and it's not forthcoming, I still go ahead and do it anyway, which are the benefits of having a financially independent woman. I'm sure I'm talking. Please, if I'm making sense, guys, let me know. So, which are the advantages and benefits of having a woman who has brains, who has skills to make sure that income is coming in one way or the other, in a legal way, not in a mago way. But then, with me knowing that yes, you are the head of the household, you should take up your responsibility 101%. I'm happy to chip in when the need arises, but having to kind of like, you know, pay for things that I feel that my husband should be paying for, it upsets me, it annoys me, it does not make me happy. And like I said earlier, it brings up so many emotions in me. And yeah, he knows. I used to show him, and he'll just look at me like, I'm sure he's thinking in his head, should I argue with this woman or should I just go jejely? And I'm sure he's going to watch this video, but no disrespect. I'm just kind of like, it just resonates with me what Nelo shared in that video, and I felt, oh, we should talk more about these things. And guys, I think I don't want to make this video too long, and I just want to say thank you to Nelo Okeke, and I hope she watches this video. Like, you know what, no, we don't have psychological issues, we don't have emotional issues. It is what is right, because it worked. We saw it growing up, it worked for our family, and it is something that works that you want to continue with. You don't want to change things, that's how I see that. If something is not broken, why change it? You saw it in your parents, I saw it in my parents, that it worked for them, and I want to it for my household. And if it's not working that way, that is when we hammer him. And my husband was like, because at the time I was saying to him that, come, if you don't do this, I'm gonna give you trouble in this house. And he was like, me, I won't see trouble in this house. And I'm like, we shall see. I mean, this talk that I'm talking, that I'm laughing, it's not a talking matter. It was not a talking matter when I was having that chat with him. But me saying it is not because I want to be rude to him. I just want to let him see that, come, as a woman, I have high expectations for myself, for you as my husband, and that high expectation is for a purpose. We've got family. We've got family. So I'm just going to leave it at that. If any of this makes sense to you, pop your comments in the comment section. Do you feel it's right for women to take up men's responsibility in a marriage or in a relationship? Pop it in the comment section below. And if there's anything I've not touched about and you want us to chat over it, yeah, let's get going. I'm happy. So I'm just going to stop here, and maybe there's going to be a part 2 to this video. And if you've watched this video till now and you've not yet like or subscribe, like, okay, yeah, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on the post notification, share this video, and let me see you in my next one. All right, see you later. Bye.